beast.
Yeah, I'm sorry for coming in a little bit. It was bad traffic. They real bad. Wreck roads blocked off.
No, bro.
Truck almost ran me off the road right when I'm about to get home. Turned it.
Dang, he
No,
missed.
he was.
Oh no,
Bruh.
I'm so glad you're
No,
okay.
he was turning. He turned when he wasn't supposed to turn. It's not a turning lane. The turn, he just did it on purpose because he wanted to go fast. And then he like, oh, you're there. I'm like, yeah, of course. I started honking my horn.
Oh shit!
I'm like, all right. You want to boost? I'll boost. I'm a Sonic fan. You know, we boost.
Man, Sam, we paid all that money and that trucker still missed, bro.
Hey, he only had 2 stars on the review. We knew better.
This fool said he boosted like a Sonic fan. I'm crazy. You should have used some momentum, bro.
I did, off the hill. I was going down the hill.
Oh, yeah, the roll physics. Okay, I'm gonna chill. Let's get into the overall impressions for Shadow Generations. I know that there is some for the Sonic Generations portion. There's really like not that many differences. Like there's the Child Rescue, and they have like some slight graphical differences, if that, improvements. But I don't think the only thing I really wanted them to change about Sonic Generations is this. I really wish they would change the ranking system. Just not necessarily the system, but it's just very easy to get S ranks. And I just hope they make it that. I feel like that's the only complaint I really see fools saying, like the story in the S ranks. That's literally the only thing I hear fools truly saying. So I just hope they like, after 10 years of people crying about the S rank requirements, I hope they make that a little bit more difficult. But with the for me, for the Shadow Generations portion, I was always kind of like on board at first. I know a lot of people were really mad at when Matt Has No Cuts on Twitter, where he said it looked like Forces, but like fools, especially the parts that he saw, like I people were so mad, but like it really did kind of look like Forces, like not even necessarily in a bad way, but that's just kind of like the trend of like the newer boost games, like not necessarily Forces as much, but like Frontiers and now Shadow Generations. This is like a new era of boost Sonic, and it kind of started with Forces, because like it kind of started with.
It started with Frontiers.
Colors a little bit.
I don't get. I mean,
I think. Right. I'm more like in the sense of like there's Generations and there's Unleashed. They have these giant sprawling stages, and where you go, like it seems like you're going like 1 trillion miles per hour, and it's very reaction based. And then you have Colors, which is like not nearly as fast. The camera's still close up like in those games, but you're not going as fast, and the focus more on 2D. And then you have Forces, which is like the stages are short and they're not as reaction heavy. And now in Frontiers and Shadow Generations in its own lane. There's like the cameras pulled back in both of them, and they both have boost, but Shadow Generations is like shared with like the invincible boost. It seems, I'm pretty sure you can run through enemies with Shadow Generations, but like they're trying to give more control back to the character. Like the boost in cyberspace is very stiff, but in Frontiers, like the open zone, and if you look at the Shadow Generations gameplay, the boost is actually, you can I've seen gameplay fools moving with the boost, and you can go around in a circle with the boost just like you're playing in Frontiers. So they're pulling back the camera, they're giving you more control, and so it's like they're trying to do like the half adventure, half boost. That's what it seems. That's the trend that these two games are like looking like it's coming. And like I feel like the beginnings was like the budget Wii boost game Colors, because they didn't have all the stuff for the big old giant 3D stages. And then Forces, the shorter, not as reaction based, the easier type. And so now it's like, this is like a whole nother new era. And so I think the game looks fire. I guess I should have said that. I'm happy for the game. The game gonna look fire. I really hope they put that boy Emerl in the freaking game. I hope that he's freaking playable. But I will say I'm so hurt that they didn't make that for Act 1 and Act 2 of Sonic Generations. That's of course classic Sonic and modern Sonic. I really feel like for Shadow Generations, it should have been Adventure Sonic and Modern Shadow. I mean, it should have been Adventure Shadow and Modern Shadow. That's how I feel. Because there's no 2D Shadow classic, whatever. The mug should have been Adventure Shadow like the OG. We're talking about generations, right? That's the OG Shadow, and then you should have did the Boost Shadow. But I am still happy for the game, and I'm mainly happy for how it's hopefully going to go forward for Sonic Frontiers 2. This is what the main purpose of this game, I think, is to pave the way for Sonic Frontiers 2 and iron stuff out. Already it's looking better than Cyberspace, and I did have fun in Cyberspace, and the story's looking like it's gonna be lit. That Shadow anime, that's gonna be freaking fire. The manga, I'm sure that's about to be fire, and so I'm very excited for this mess. So Jay Blast, I know you wanted to speak, so I'll let you go. Handsome,
Gorgeous.
sir.
It's blazing.
Sorry.
No, I was like kind of bummed out because like I've been playing these games for years, and Generations came out when I was like in middle school.
Yeah.
Like way back in middle school. Like, I think I was in 7th grade, or just starting 7th grade. I was hyped for that game. Like I remember being hyped for the game. Kobama 456 was there. His video, like
Kobama-sama.
I remember the modern trailer when they showed Perfect Chaos. Like, what the f- is that? Because they put like skin on them. They never did that before. So I've had this game since day one. I remember going to GameStop and getting it, and they didn't get my code, my casino night code, because I was 2 days late from the pre-order. So I guess I couldn't even put it in because I didn't have Xbox Live at the time until a year later, like at my birthday in 2012.
Damn.
But I'll say all this to just say that I've played this game since like 2011, and to be honest, I hate saying it like this, but it was the last great mainline Sonic game until Frontiers to me, because Lost World was like okay, and
I agree.
The other games in between were Mania was great. But like 3D, I say through mainline 3D Sonic game, because that era, 2010 to 2012, with like Colors. I know people get mad at it now, but like Colors, Sonic 4, even Sonic 4 Episode 2, Generations, and especially Sonic and All Stars Racing Transform. That era was fire. That was fire all the way until the Wii U came out. It was fire. And then like Lost World came out, and it felt like it could have been better with a missed potential, but. I see all this to say, like, I was kind of disappointed because, like, no change. I played this game for so long, and it feels like there hasn't been enough to justify this remaster. You know what I'm saying? Like,
remaster.
If you look at how much came out from Sonic Adventure 2 until Generations, there was so much to justify a remaster, even at that point. But it feels like there just wasn't enough to justify it. So I was like, and I was thinking like it would be like Sonic Colors Ultimate where there's issues, but then I saw that Shadow portion.
Even that one wasn't as justified.
Yeah. And I was already kind of like, ever since I was a kid and played Colors, I liked the game. But you can watch my video on it. I always felt something was off about it. It was level design.
Yeah.
It was level design. It was like certain levels. Like, I just still think half of the levels in that game were just trash. I don't know. I should have just never made them like that. I hate that gimmicky level design. And Forces has it. And to go on your point about like Forces level design, I think we got a misconception in the Sonic community with 3D Sonic, where like they think that like a lot of games were open when they weren't.
The straight line.
Why are you capping?
Yeah.
They know, like, when you really go back to OG Sonic Adventure, like first it was Sonic Adventure is the best because it controlled the classic games. No, it doesn't. Then it was that it had open areas. No, it doesn't. Outside of the open world. Like, it does. Like, you go back and play these games, and you were like, that's one of my favorite games of all time. It is. But I'm going to tell you the truth about it. I'm not going to lie to you and just act like that, because it's been 3D Sonic has been like Crash Bandicoot, right? Which Crash Bandicoot in itself is, it's called Sonic Ass in development. That's what it's called. It's supposed to be like.
It's called Sonic what?
Like, that's its original development name. Crash Bandicoot. It's a linear platformer that comes with that bases more on your on your like skill of the level to justify you playing it again. And that's what Sonic was. You wanted to get to beat the level faster. You start doing things to beat the level faster. And it ended up creating its own 3D style. Now, like, I get the thing about like Frontiers is that Izuka. The reason why there's no Adventures Shadow because Izuka says that like Frontiers is the third iteration of Sonic gameplay, and I kind of get it because if you look at the boost, while the boost integrated like something different for the gameplay, it's still the same philosophy of the adventure 3D stages, right? Where you have to go, you have to master a stage, a linear stage. Except now you have to boost, right? It's just faster.
And it's not the reaction,
right? And it's about master. It's not just reaction, about mastery of the stage, right? And about beating it fast. And stuff
I
like
said it's not about.
You know
sorry, I said it's not the reaction gameplay.
Yeah,
like the generations, the Unleashed, like that's the difficulty from the adventure games. That comes from like how engaging like the level design and the physics all come together and like the moveset and everything. But with the Adventure Unleashed and because they take away control from you, that's why it's like more input heavy, like split second decisions, like
had,
that kind of mastery. It's both mastery.
Crazy ass stages. Okay, like
before you continue
Unleashed,
now,
no,
I'm
for sure.
Just talk about this very briefly. I'm gonna say it and be done with it. I think it was like 98 minutes minimum that I was on Eggman Land. I was exhausted.
That stage.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Through my history on platformers, there's a stage that's like that I think they took inspiration from. That kind of has a similar theme. It's called Spectre Land from Ape Escape.
Please say what I think you're gonna say.
Which one?
Oh.
It's called Spectre Land from Ape Escape.
Oh, Spectre Land? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You gotta watch my Ape
Yo, what?
Okay. Yeah.
With Mike, like,
yo, Sam, the secret Ape Escape fan.
Secret, bro. That soundtrack is goated, bro. I got a story that's not appropriate for this podcast about Ape Escape always. So we don't leave it.
Ape Escape.
Huh?
Yeah, we gotta save it for
Pause.
the next episode.
No, pause, bro.
Not
Pause. What are you talking about?
I'm saying Ape Escape is goated. It fits all that.
You gotta play on the emulator.
Ambiance with Ape Escape.
Bro, I thought J Blast, bro. I thought you were goated, bro. I thought you were gonna bring up Spark the Electric Jester 3's last stage.
3. I've only played 2. I gotta get the 3.
Bro,
I played Freedom Planet 2 though.
I need to get on Freedom Planet.
It's pretty fire, man.
Pretty sure Spark Electric Justice 3 last stage. It's like at least 30 minutes, and they take away unlimited lives. That's the only stage that has no unlimited lives.
I like gauntlet stages. Like I think that's how games should be. Give me a final gauntlet like that. Like make the last level memorable. Yeah. Like Spectre Land, like Eggman Land.
Okay, my man didn't care. He said make it memorable. I didn't say good. I said make it memorable.
Good. I mean, Ape Escape, all 3 Ape Escape, the mainline ones all got levels like that, like the space station and the TV station, the 3.
Space station,
they all like that. The two one was crazy with the
I gotta jump on the Ape Escape.
You have to, bro. That's like one of the PlayStation best games. No new games. That's another topic. I'm not gonna get into that. I can rant about that later on.
No new games.
You said no new games. Did you have a memory card at least?
Now I got a memory card.
You know he didn't have one. Hell no, he didn't. What do you think about the level design Shadow Generations?
Okay, now we're back to that. Yeah. So as I was saying, there's misconceptions with level design in these games, and I think Unleashed was more just reactions. I can see what you're seeing with Generations, but Unleashed had actual hard level design. Like Adabat, that was a crazy ass level.
Oh no, definitely.
That was a crazy ass level to this day. Like, that level can freeze. You go through that fire that spawn because those fools spawn infinite fire instead of just having like fire spawn and go away. They put like multiple fire spawn. It's why the stage lags like crazy. Even on the Series S or Series X, but the stages were hard, just in general, and you had to like master them.
Yeah. Objectively, I feel like the Unleashed stages are harder than the adventure stages. Just like if you just have just all of the stuff in like the level. Like I wasn't trying to say adventure games were harder than Unleashed. I'm just saying like because of the control you had in the adventure games and the physics, and combined with the level design, like it was a different kind of like level of engagement that the player had, and because they didn't have that control and because physics don't play as much of a role in like the boost games, it's like they supplemented it by basically making the level design more like thick, like denser, like there's way more of this stuff in them levels. Yeah, I wasn't trying to say one was harder. I'm saying they're hard in different ways. Or they keep the player, like, you can't turn your brain off unless you have the mess memorized. You can't turn your brain off and successfully play those stages. Like, you can turn your brain off and play. Like, you're not gonna die in any of these Shadow Generation stages. I'm not trying to take your time, but yeah, you're not gonna die in any of these stages from what I've seen.
Yeah,
from what I've seen, I don't think.
But you also gotta understand this, like that was Unleashed was hard for Sonic fans. When you see non-Sonic fans play these games, they suck at them. Like I'm not trying to make fun of them.
Yeah.
It's just genuine.
I'm cutting you off, bro. Forgive me. Sonic Unleashed. Yeah. If y'all saw me play that game, out loud, if I was recording myself, you'd have heard me say this on many occasions. This game is not for kids. I kept saying that shit out loud. This game is. Why are you laughing, bro? No, I said that shit out loud. I said, bro, this game is not for kids. Bro, let me tell you, and this will be brief. I'm cutting to your time too, bro.
No, you're good.
Look, I played Sonic Unleashed. And I was like, this game is... I played the demo first, right? I played the demo first. I'm like, all right, cool. This shit is fun. Woo, woo, woo. I'm enjoying it. Oh, this is so fun. Apollo's Windmill Day. Oh, okay, cool. Right? Got the full game. Started playing the game. Okay, cool. Oh, this is fun. Oh, my favorite stage, Windmills Isle Day 2, right? Cool. And then all of a sudden, I get past that, and I'm like, okay,
not cool.
So, where are we now? I think it was like the Jungle Joyride place or whatever it was. I went from having like 36 stops. I finished the goddamn stage, the second act, with like fourth left.
Yes,
I said, ain't this about a bitch? I said that out loud. Ain't this about a bitch?
Yes, bro. The beginning.
I said, bruh, I was like, and remember, y'all, this is, I don't think I was like 15, 16. I had 360 times, so I was like 15, 16. Now, remember, this is 15, 16-year-old me. I'm playing Mortal Kombat 9. I'm one of the best smoke players in the world and stuff. I'm playing, Gears of War. My reactions on fleek. I'm playing Street Fighter 4. I pop in Sonic Unleashed, and I'm sitting there aghast.
Full sweating.
The beginning of that stage with the boardwalk, it's already started. The beginning of that stage with the boardwalk, it's already crazy. Then I found out that you can.
He said started crazy. That's an understatement.
Yeah. Because
that man Sonic said,
you can boost past that fence, and that's a shortcut right there. But if you boost too fast, you fall off and you die. Then you got the water. You play on the older versions of it. It's gonna lag like crazy in the water section. You hit about one thing, you're dead. Then you got the temple section, all these traps and shit, and you have to platform around that, and there's pitfalls and everything. You fall down, you're dead. And then you got the last area in the waterfall where the game's lagging because all the water and the fire effects. They got these tiny ass platforms, and they got these enemies. The one thing I hate about the game is they have these enemies that can shoot at you from the air, and they'll do it right when you about to hit them, so that you just get hit and you die from that, and it ruins your rank. You have to restart. Having a skyscraper all the damn time.
Wait. What's so bad about it is that's if you're playing 360 version. What if you had a PS2 or Wii?
I had to actually. I have a story with that. I had a story with that because that was the first version.
You had both versions.
The first version that I had, and I remember they lied. So they had a commercial where the kid was playing on the Wii. Because I didn't have a 360 until like 2010. The kid was playing on the Wii, but it had 360 footage. So they lied to me. So I got the game, and I'm playing it. I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't look like I had on the Wii. This doesn't look like how the 360 version looked. The Wii version is missing 2 stages. Missouri, the Africa stage. Of course, they gotta take out the black stage. They got Africa stage, Missouri. There's no Deadtown stage, no Nighttime stage to boss fight. America.
Yo, wait. They took out
Empire City.
No. Stop. No, stop. They took out the Africa stage.
It's only the boss fight
on the Wii. Oh,
and they took out America, Empire City. Nah. That stage is gone. It's not on the Wii version.
Okay. I see.
They took out the Africa stage. That's what they had. They kept everything else. But the hub worlds weren't even hub worlds.
I see.
They had like these people who you talk to.
Almost act like a fool.
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
second.
Talk to these people like the text box, like what's going on, and then you had to go to these Gaia temples. Then you went to a stage, and then like people, bro. I can go on a whole team of people online. People in the reviews, I go along the review, they would lie. They would say the Wii version is better, it has less nighttime stages. No, the fuck it doesn't, bro. You have to go through like 4 to 5 nighttime stages in each level, 3 to 4. Sonic would have one daytime Sonic had one stage, and they put a bunch of stupid ass missions like that, like shorten the stage, like 20 of them. But then and that would make up, it'd be technically more daytime stages, but it's just one stage with a bunch of short off missions. I don't want that. Give me actual levels. I hate when they do that. And then the nighttime stages would be these full length stages, and there would be 4 of them, and you have to use the most controls. I remember I was fighting people back and forth. Man, I was Adabat one was crazy. The daytime stage on the Wii was less hard, but it was still kind of hard. Like you fall off the little cliff. It didn't look as cool. And I went on my computer, on my dad's computer, so I really got going, and I saw the actual stage I was missing out. I was so mad. I was like, Dad, get this game on a PS3. And that nigga said no. He said no. No. He wanted to get stupid ass NCAA 10 or whatever the fuck came out at the time, bro. I had to. That's why I was like, Mama, can I get a 360 for my own?
That nigga said no.
My mom and dad were separate, so I was like, Mom, can I get a 360 for my own, please? And finally, I got it for my own for Christmas. But they were sold out of Sonic Unleashed, so I had to get. I had open lines too. I was set with that one, but I had to wait like a month to get Blue Dragon and to get Sonic Unleashed.
He said Blue Dragon. Just snuck that in there.
No, they don't sneak. That's the GOAT. I love that anime, and it went off the air, but I never got to play the game until then. But to get back to the generation levels, the point I was trying to make with all the linearity is that it's always been linear. It's just that the problem is like colors, the color style, kind of like they kind of like have like 3D spectacle and 2D platforming, and it's like the basic platforming in the 2D with the modern Sonic. It's not like the craziest platformer, so like it's not as good. But the spectacle could be fun in colors, and it has some cool moments, especially in Aquarium Park and Planet Wisp. But like there's this part of Planet Wisp where you can like fall off of this tower instead of going through it, and you fall into a grind rail like way below, and that's pretty cool. But Forces copied that design for no good reason. They had no good reason to copy it because they had better hardware, and that's why that game's level design suffered, because it took from Color's philosophy, except made it worse.
Damn.
Because of that, right? That's what it did. And so like when people say like Forces levels, I'm like, bro, what? I feel like people are just saying it because it's linear and it has different paths. But that's how Generations was. That's how Unleashed was. That's how Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2 was. And people say even Sonic Heroes. I love Sonic Heroes to death. It's like one of my favorite ones. But there's just long stretches of fucking road in that damn game. That's how all these 3D games are. They're all it's like Kingdom Hearts. It's like linear openness. Like there's a linear stage with a couple of small open areas, but there's not no open stage, right? There's only one open stage, and that's that Windy,
especially Adventure.
That's that Windy Valley stage, the original Windy Valley stage that was too big to be on the Dreamcast. You know, that was the only open stage that you got to mod your game on PC to play. So like when I saw that, I was like, "What are y'all talking about? It's not Forces level design."
I don't even like. I think the reason why people say like looks like Forces is because the linearity, like you said, it's been there. It's always been there in 3D Sonic. Like it's always been there. But it's like when you look at, like, for example, at the beginning of at the beginning of Act 1 of the space station, when he's going down like that ramp, like when you look at that by itself, first of all, there's no physics. So like that linear right there is like nothing compared to like Adventure, because at least you have the slope physics and you have stuff like that, and it's at least a little more interesting. So like with Forces, you have the idea of like that's not interesting at all. It's just you're basically just holding forward on a flat plane. But then when you have the other Boost games, they have at least more engagement with the because you're going faster, and so like some of the stuff that they have in a way, like it just seems like you're doing more. So like when you had the linear and the barren forces, and even there'll be times there's pits and forces that look exactly like the adventures, or it look like parts of Generations or whatever. Like there's some of the same thing, but it's just because of like how just the Sonic controls and how he plays, and like how like it just makes it seem way more stripped and barren than it really is. And I think that just from the few things you saw, like just like
And the levels
I
are
think
shorter,
when Matt
too.
said that, yeah, they're
And they had
shorter.
those stupid gimmick
They're
levels.
shorter, and then of course, yes, they're shorter. They had the gimmick stuff, and I think it's also like the camera being pulled back, and that's why I want to make that video about perfecting the fusion of adventure and boost, because like no matter how good, like Shadow Generation, I'm gonna be happy for the game, but this current style of fusion of adventure and boost, it's not gonna surpass the peak of boost, and it's not gonna surpass the peak of adventure. Okay, it just can't. Like just what they're doing right now, like it's like watered down boost and watered down adventure combined together is how I feel about it. And like it's still gonna be good. Like if you do it well, it's still gonna be good. But like to me, they're trying to like take parts of both and put them together, but like they're not going far enough. That's how I feel. Like that's where like like I said, the forces, it looks like forces. I think like the little barrenness slightly, and I like forces, just to be clear. So
I know.
but yeah, sorry for interrupting you again. I know you want to finish your point, and then Sam needs to get to his point about how he feels.
I'll
about
just go
the game.
overall Generation. Like I did like Generations back in the day. I really did. My biggest issue from as a kid was that there was only Sonic and Sonic playable. Like the series was known for having more playable characters, just like Sonic 2. Even though Tails couldn't fly in Sonic 2, just saying. But by himself. But they all had different abilities. They're known for that, and I feel like that part of the identity of the franchise was not there, because like platformers, the only platform that did that back in the day was Mario 2, and then that was it. Like it did that, and that wasn't even supposed to be Mario 2. Still the panic, that, but gotta keep going. I just gotta put that out there so everyone knows that one. But Sonic was the one that kept doing it, and even in 3D it kept doing it, because you go look at the other 3D platformers, they all did not have other playable characters outside like a mini game or something, right? Play Crash Bandicoot, you play as Crash. You play Spyro, you play as Spyro, right? And then until like the third game, where you have like these one-off characters that you play like one level for. But and then everything else again, even Ape Escape and all this stuff, you played as one character. You didn't have multiple characters with multiple abilities in like a regular stage. I wish they did that. They tried doing that with the character abilities, like those missions. You had character abilities, but it's just not the same. Like they had one of Tails to pick you up as classic. I wish they had that as an ability. I like the ability system behind different abilities. I wish modern Sonic got like he had more stat boosting ones than like classic. Classic had like the actual like cool one, like the skateboard and the shields. I wish Tails was one of the power ups.
Yeah.
I also think that the stage choices were like, they said they picked the stage hands, right? But the stage choices was weird at the time. We now know why there's not a Sonic 3 stage, even though it probably would have been Hydrosity, but it still should have been there. Same with Stardust Speedway. Same with like, I think they should have put like in the handheld version of Sonic Generation on 3DS, which is not getting remastered. They said in the beginning they were picking stages based off the handheld games of Sonic the Hedgehog. So people were thinking they're gonna pick stages from like the Game Gear Sonic 2 and the Game Gear games. No, they didn't. They lied. They lied. They only had one, technically two, technically three. Green Hill was in the Game Gear version of Sonic 1, but that's also the Master System version of Sonic 1. And then Tropical Resort is in the DS version of Sonic Colors. So I guess that technically counts. But then Water Palace is the only true handheld stage. Radical Highway is not even Sonic stage. That's Shadow stage. I don't know why they did that. So they lied. They just outright lied, and they had good stage choices that they could have picked. But then they messed up on that version too, because a lot of it's first levels, a lot of it is cities, and it's like you had all these creative stages. Like you got Casino Night, which was in there, it was in the 3DS version. You got stages.
Nothing from
You got
Advance.
stages in Advance. Advance had crazy stages. You had like Toy Kingdom. That was a cool stage. Music
Yeah,
Plant.
in that dessert
Yeah,
place.
Music Plant. Um, Ice Paradise. The second one, Sky Garden, Sky Rail.
Yeah,
Advance 2.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love
Sky
that place.
Canyon. Sky Canyon. You had like some good stages. They didn't pick that. Same with the main game, right? Sonic Heroes at Seaside Hill. You got Mystic Mansion. You got Final Fortress. You got all these cool heroes levels. You picked the one that's like Green Hill. It don't make any sense.
Yeah, they should have went Egg Fleet. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
get the going.
You played Heroes, Sam?
I played Sonic Heroes a bit. I don't play it too much, but that's from my introduction to the. I don't remember the name of the characters, but the alligator, the bee, and the what was the other character? The chaotic. Yeah, there we go. They were interesting to me. That was my first introduction to them. But yeah, I did play it briefly. The friend I told you guys about, he had every Sonic game that you could think of at the time. He just brought it all over, and I'm like, bro, I don't. That Sonic Riders is dope though. I was like, oh, this shit is dope. I don't. We can keep playing. Let's just play another Sonic game. He gave me all the lore and stuff back in the day. But yes, I've touched up until about 2000. Up until I want to say Sonic and the Secret Rings came out. Is not played every Sonic game.
Yeah, it's around that Unleashed time.
Yeah, Alicia's a goat, as you guys know. But yeah, one thing I want to say while I have you guys' attention is, no one mentioned this. Now I want to hear this from Jay. I've heard that, and I may be wrong about this, it was acclaimed as being one of the great ones. Why has no one brought Sonic Rush into the conversation?
Oh, I mean, people love that. People, I got friends now that like make fun of me talking about Sonic, but they love Sonic Rush. I brought that up. I said like it had a stage in Generations 3DS version. It had Water Palace.
I was gonna bring up Blaze for the Sonic movie discussion. I'm like, when we gonna bring Blaze to the movies?
They got a lot of characters.
Oh yeah, we did talk about her. Yeah, the Blaze, the princess on another planet. Yeah, Sonic Rush is fire.
It's fire. I like the sequel more, but it's still fire. I was just saying they could have put more in the game, even for the Game Gear games, like Sonic Chaos, Sonic Triple Trouble. You could have put Winter Robotnik. They could have been Mecha Green Hills on. It could have been
Mecha Green Hill.
Yeah, not Mecha Green Hill. That could have been Gigaopolis or Sleeping Egg, like one of those stages from there. They could have put in there. They didn't do it, and a lot of this stuff is just kind of nitpicking as a fan. Like it's like, okay, I kind of want this stage. Like the Sonic 3 stage, if I had to pick one, I would pick Ice Cap. It's too bad Ice Cap's music was it was an unreleased song that the dude just put in the game of like this famous band, and because of that, now that music can't be used anymore. And now they like skirt on remaking the level because of that. I wish it was Ice Cap though, to Sky Sanctuary, but they got Sky Sanctuary in the game. And then the modern stage is like they picked. Looking back, I was gonna say Starlight Carnival, but they picked Planet Wisp, and that was a good pick because Starlight Carnival now I don't like it that much. It's all automated. Then Unleashed, they picked Rooftop. Of all the stages, they picked Rooftop Run, and it's like you got Chenan. The main stage I remember in the advertising back then was Chenan. But the Dragon Road, I thought that was gonna be the stage, but no, it's not the stage. The stage they picked, was
it should have been
Dragon Road. One of the better ones. Even if they did Full Edge Day, that'd have been cool.
And this is just me on nitpicking. They fixed this in Salad Generations. I thought Valley was the better pick because what did you see when you saw Sonic 06? You saw Kingdom Valley on the cover. He's running through Kingdom Valley on the start screen. He's running through Kingdom Valley.
Yeah, that's a great.
That was one of the better, levels, and it would have been connected to Soliana, but they didn't do that. Again, these are more nitpicks. I'm not saying the game is terrible for this. This is more nitpicks as a fan. And then I also didn't like how that story was, where they didn't interact. They had a chance to interact, and also Big and Omega were not in the original game. They were only in the trophy room, and those are the only two major characters missing from the game. Now they fix it with Omega, but I hope Big is in the game somewhere. Cameo something, just add him to a level, something instead of just that trophy room. But those are my thing. I still love the game. Like it's still an S-rank Sonic game. It's fire. But those are my little nitpicks, and I feel like Shadow Generations addresses nearly all of that. It gives us more levels. It gives us different playable character, different perspective, different story. It has other characters in. it has a better hub world than the previous game. The only way I can see them fumbling parts of this is that like it's a level list. They say it's gonna be shorter than Generations. We don't know what that means because you have the open world.
Yeah.
Does he mean it means shorter state? They mean the stages, like less stages? Because there's 6 revealed right now. I'm pretty sure there's 6 or there's 6.
It's Kingdom Valley. There's Space Colony.
Yeah.
I don't really consider people trying to say Radical Highway is a different stage, but like, I mean, Radical Highway, what's up? It looks like it's that same first act.
It's different. It's a different stage. I think that might be West. Well, that probably is Radical Highway, because the shadow there technically isn't the Shadow of the Hedgehog stage, which I think they're saving that for the Black Comet.
Yeah,
but it's like,
yeah, they might save that.
You know, if you're gonna have Shadow enter games he didn't appear in, like Forces and Frontiers, why not add another?
Well, he was in Forces episode Shadow.
But it's after this game. So if you're gonna do that, why not add Shadow in the Unleashed stage? Why not add Shadow in a like a Sonic Color stage, like Aquarium Park or something? Or Asteroid Belt? They're trying to mix it with his Dark Element because Rail Canyon is like
that would be awesome.
All stages are important. Obviously, the arc's important to him. Rail Canyon and Sonic Heroes is when he when he like found out he had like an android clone, and that was that whole plot line that got resolved in Shadow of the Hedgehog, and Kingdom Valley is where he first met Mephiles. So all these stages are important, and I guess Sunset Heights is technically where he met Infinite. So in the game, so that's when he met when Infinite became Infinite, and then Chaos Island. I don't know what Chaos Island deal is.
So what I think is really interesting is I hear what you're saying, and this is usually where you start to speculate on okay, well maybe they did that intentionally so they could sell DLC. I don't know about Sonic.
Oh, they did say that. They said they're going to make DLC.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't know about Sonic being in the business of selling DLC like that. I know it's a common practice, but I don't think selling stages that people want to see for real in the main game is usually their memo. It's usually we pull people in with the stuff that they want to see, with a couple things that we want to put in there, and then we do like a mixed bag of, hey, we can do some extensions over here, and then some fan stages. Like again, if we want to see Chunnin Road Day, if we want to see, Metal Harbor, throw that in there next.
You bring up a great point because that's another nitpick I had with the original game. They Sonic Unleashed had all this DLC. Generations could have had. That was the perfect game to add DLC, especially that was the last game they were gonna make on the 360 PS3 era. That was a mainline game. It would have been perfect.
And 06 had DLC too, right?
Yeah, it had DLC, but I think that was cut content. They just added on.
Yeah, I think Generations, that's the biggest fumble for not having additional stages, and especially since it was such a short game. But I do think I think what the deal is with this game is like if you get the deluxe edition, you get one extra DLC Shadow stage. And so, but I hope that they release more. That's what I hope, honestly. Even if they're just doing like Act 3, Act 4, like reuse Kingdom Valley assets and give us another stage. Like, I don't care if you reuse assets. Like give us, just like in Sonic Frontiers with the Final Horizon DLC, they gave us all that stuff is the same 4 gimmicks.
Osiris Space Stage was the best one. The Final Horizon.
So yeah, that's what. I don't know if you played Frontier, Sam, but they literally gave us like 10 of the best cyberspace stages ever, all in the free Final Horizon DLC.
And they let us play it.
And just the fact that they have a stage.
The first time, 2006.
Dang.
Yeah, and just for the fact that, oh man, what was I about to say? I was about to say something. So it was a very great point. I was going to say that just the fact that that was like, it seems like that could be like the precedent that they set for the future. Like they could be doing more levels, Sam. And then the fact that they use Chaos Island as a stage, I really hope they just use some more. You can just reuse Kronos Island and Ares Island. I don't care, bro. Like, we're gonna make some new stages. Like, if you already gonna bring Chaos Island in, and Shadow was even in Frontiers, You might as well just go reuse the rest of the assets. Like reuse, like we don't. You reuse assets last time. We're happy. You know, just come on. Don't make it no $30. No disrespect.
Yo, don't make
No
Shadow
disrespect.
DLC that they try to make Supersonic DLC.
Now, okay. I was gonna do another tangent, but I want to let Sam
Or just
speak.
don't make it pay people.
But yeah, we've got.
If it's one of those situations where it's like, hey, we want to get a product out that people will like, but we want to spend some time to add some free stuff later on, people will appreciate that. Because you gave us something that we enjoyed, you put your heart and soul into it, and then you said, hey, we think you deserve this thing as well. It wouldn't be a complete Sonic game without this thing here. We're going to release it to the fans for free, alongside some paid DLC. You'll still get the, say, Super Shadow and whatever, and maybe throw in 2 cents in there as well. But it's just be a matter
Silver DLC.
Yeah, it'd be a matter of, hey, free DLC. People love free DLC. They appreciate that. I think that the last game that I played that had brought out free DLC was it Melty Blood? No, it was Under Night 2. Like a new character came out last month.
Oh.
And it just feels good to turn your game back on and it's free DLC. Like, oh shit. Even Sonic Unleashed. I mean, I didn't pay for DLC. When I saw the new stages, I was like, man, I would genuinely love the opportunity to play these stages. Even though they're hard as shit, it's dope. The music's dope. And I love that new Here We Go.
Go here with Unleash's DLC. The daytime stages were just harder versions of stages, but the nighttime stages felt like acts that was going to be in the game in the first place. Like some of those stages didn't have second acts for nighttime.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard you say that, but I'm not exactly following you.
Oh, I'm saying like basically in the original game, like all the daytime like areas have like multiple acts. They have Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Yeah. But some of the nighttime stages in the base game only had one act.
But they were longer. Some of them took like 35 minutes to complete.
Yeah. But the DLC would add a second act to all the ones that had like one act.
Oh.
So I was saying like I think maybe they meant to be because they weren't necessarily harder stages like the daytime ones. They felt like a second variation, like in Missouri Africa when like you were on the treetops. Mm-hmm. It was a whole different type of stage.
Okay, I see. That's interesting. But that would be interesting, right? Where you have DLC that gives you a different perspective of a previous stage.
Yeah.
Right. Say if they had like a Mirrorverse stage where you're, running and doing something else. But then you get the DLC, it flips the whole stage over. And it's like the antithesis. If it's dark, it's light. If it's light, it's dark. And you just get a different perspective of the same stage. But there's a bunch of different obstacles and stuff like that. And you end up in the same place. But the perspective is so shifted that it's comparable, but not even remotely the same. It kind of reminds me of, and one of the things that I'm hoping they have in this new game is where you're able to run the stage normally, but you can find certain paths that allow you to either skip. Sometimes there are paths that take longer, some that are shorter. But you can skip certain aspects of it and find alternate routes as well as alternate obstacles to clear for the game. I'm hoping they do things like that. Where I think I forgot what game it was, but there was like I think it's one of the Sonic games where was it Sonic Adventure 2 Battle? Where you can take the rails, or you can just kind of hop from platform to platform. If you hop from platform to platform, you don't need to take longer. But if you fell into the water and you died, you didn't really want to take that route. But the fact that they had that option there made it interesting just to see. Like, it might have been Metal Harbor, but
it was. Yeah, so you're talking about like when the higher route in the Rocky, you got to take that route if you want the A rank.
Yeah. Like just having stuff like that, it's like, okay, cool. Shit, even I play Sonic Unleashed and I do the speedruns for Sonic Unleashed. There's a bunch of routes that you can take that don't exactly involve you running on anything. You just choose specific jumps and then you boost at specific times and you're clearing certain platforms. And it's really cool because the way the boost system works and how much velocity Sonic is carrying. Right? It's little things like that, whether it be huge boosts, huge jumps, huge divergence, or just small subtle ones. Because those things themselves give you a bit of dopamine. Just knowing that you're using the game's mechanics to its fullest, you're able to clear certain things. Even if it's not even a secret route, it's just, hey, I use the game. For example, I think in the game, they showed that Shadow has like he got these special moves that look like if you get 20 coins in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle in versus mode. I think he had like that Doom Blast or whatever, where you launch the opponent and then he had like a teleport. It's like, okay, cool. There's some enemies here. If I want to clear this thing fast, I can like launch this Doom Blast with one opponent, knock it in the air, hit it again, and teleport to where it's going to be. So now I have to actually target knocking this opponent at this angle and hitting them over there so I can teleport into another enemy and then clear through. Things like that, right? It's not obvious when you first look at it, but it opens up some variants to how people can clear and speedrun certain things. I think that in itself is interesting, where the enemies themselves become the platforms, which they've done with the robots and stuff. But with these abilities, you can find your own ways to clear the tracks. And it also has some secret routes as well. And maybe have like 2 divergences instead of just 1. So that way people can really enjoy it. It kind of reminds me of not like having secret stages like Mario, where you hop in one of the pipes, and all of a sudden it's, oh, I'm in a different stage. But there can be a different part of the stage that's built that you don't see. Like even when it came to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, where you got certain equipment. Oh, I didn't know this part was there. I think they had the what was that? With that one,
like the flame ring or the
sunglasses.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you have those things. I'm not saying they gotta put them in here exactly, but maybe when you get these abilities, you'll be able to find different routes, do different things, and find more fun ways. And I think of it like Devil May Cry, right? You can run through Devil May Cry normally, and you get the weapons and stuff. But then you can be very stylish about how you customize and put stuff together, and you can string your combos together. Well, when you do that in, say, this Sonic Cross Shadow Generations game, maybe it's, hey, you can just run through the stage normally, or if you want to clear some stuff, we got a bunch of enemies here. We got these abilities here. These abilities affect enemies a certain type of way, and they give you different boosts, different height management, and then you still have the high jump, you have the short jump. You can make the most out of this thing, and it's sort of like when I used to watch speedruns for Sonic Unleashed. When you watch other people play the game, they have their own style for playing the game. What if these abilities give you variants to how you play through the stages? Well, you're still going to be going from the beginning to the end of the stage, but the way people go about it, based off of the abilities themselves. It's like if you had the ability to Spidey swing versus having the ability to, like the ring dash in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, versus having the ability to just do homing dashes and stuff, or even having boosts. It's like when you watch people do these things, it's like, oh snap, that's pretty cool. Or maybe I can combine all of these things and create my own speed run for this and just have a lot of fun playing it this way. Or even if I mess up here, like, I think Shadow had the Doom Wing ability. If I'm about to fall and die, I can open up my Doom Wing and I can glide, and there's always a way for me to get back up the top before I die. Right? It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but if I understand how to use these abilities, then maybe I have a chance of making this happen. Right? And I think it'd be cool to have people do those type of things. You don't want to make it too easy, but you want to give them creative freedom. And I think that will make it really dope, because while they're trying different things where you have, because the game looks more like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle with the way that they move, with the running and stuff. I personally definitely prefer the boost, but I do get it relatively. My mindset is, well, you have a mix between them, and then you kind of have like him doing chaos control and freezing enemies and whatnot, teleports. Well, maybe you can create a speed system around the abilities and say, hey, we give you a little bit of boost to give you normal running, but you get your manual boost by using the abilities in tandem in certain ways, which it's sort of like whenever you play they do this a lot when it comes to fighting games, where certain things aren't meant to be in the game, but people find them out anyway. Maybe certain interactions enable you to get certain things done, and it wasn't meant
like give you like boost of speed.
Boost of speed. It's like whenever you hit like I think in Sonic Unleashed, if you hit boost and jump at the same time, he just kind of skates in the air. Like you see him just kick his foot to the right. Yeah. And I mean, it's probably intended, but but you have to do it. You have to literally plink it. Like you have to hit boost and jump within frames of each other, and then he'll just plink over. Little things like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like that freaking giant jump he can do.
That's when platformers like really start to hit their stride, when they get that one ability, and they start like letting you manipulate that ability. Yep. I think
the
about
momentum and stuff.
Like the super spin and Crash. Crash 3. I would really skip portions of the level just by super spinning over obstacles. Yeah. You can shoot.
Is that where you like slide and you spin at the same time?
No, you can do that to get more like more weight momentum in the air.
I think this is like a
triple spin.
Like slide and jump, because you can like clear a lot of stuff by sliding and jumping, even clear over enemies. Because I think Crash got a double jump and a super jump, but he's talking about like the spins. Yeah. Go ahead.
You got a speed run for relics, and the speed runner wants you to do that. Like they literally want you to do that.
Wow.
But you got to do it different ways so you can get the platinum relic if you want to beat the stage in that way. but you also got everything like the fruit suit. Because at first it's like, oh, I get the fruit suit at the end, I don't need it. But then when you start approaching these levels, when you have to start completing them faster, then you start to use every single one of the abilities you're given to complete state. Because you got to hit the boxes still, because the boxes have reduce your time while avoiding certain things. So, you know, I like it when they do that. I feel like those Doom powers are supposed to be like a way to get Shadow to use his old weapons and Chaos powers without actually vehicles, without actually forcing him to use those in the game again. Like, he's not gonna use guns or anything like that. So I think if they can make those, if they can like play with it a little bit and make those, and kind of make that specificity to Shadow, I call it specificity, and play with that, make that something of its own, I think, you know, it can really make the gameplay for Shadow very addicting and different from Sonic's.
And I think Sam really hit the nail, whatever he did. I feel like it makes me realize, like, the head on the hammer, the nail on the hammer. Bastard. Okay, but I think that just what he's describing is like, that's one of like the failures of the Wisp. I feel like in Sonic Colors, like they had all these like situations where you're supposed to use them, but they were so like constricted and like so like linear in their use. There wasn't any way you could really like use creativity with them. Like with the drill, of course you can go in different ways, but like rocket, you going up, or you know, the spikes, you just going on the like, it's not like there are any special like, you know, it was just too linear. So like already I think things might be like, you know, just the flight looks like it's gonna be the coolest thing in like any Sonic game. Like I think this has to be so excited for like what they could do with Tails, or like the idea they're doing like air level design and trying to make it more interesting than like in every other Sonic game. Air level design, just putting a boost thing in the air, and they're still kind of doing that. Like they have like the rings and stuff, but at least you have you navigating around debris and stuff when Shadow gets his wings. And so I think like what Sam's saying, like if they could capitalize on like adding that like replayability factor to like not just the actual gameplay, but also with the Shadow's abilities and things like that. You know, just like with the fact you can like kick the enemy in the air and like open up new paths, but like, and also you dash forward with him as well. So I wonder if Fool's gonna find skips that like they're gonna kick somebody in the air and then Shadow's gonna dash forward to like skip part of the thing, and then you air dash after that. Like just something like that, doing something unintended, like that, like you're saying, the triple spin or super spin is what you're saying, or like the super bounce in SA2, or wave dashing in Melee. Like that's like the platformer dream. Like let me break your game. Like if you have all this cool stuff and you won't let me break it, that's what makes it lame in my opinion.
Yeah, and if you watch my Mario 64 video, I talk about like the power ups in that power up section.
Yeah.
This is why I said, like, I talk about how like the visual power up and metal power up, but they're cool little gimmicks. But those power ups are they're unlike the 2D game power ups. Like when you get the fire flower, or like the wingsuit, not the wingsuit, the super cape in Mario World, or the Tanuki tail, or like people, you can, if you want to, you can skip the whole level with that. You don't have to. You're not forcing it. You can skip the whole level. You can use that gimmick to your own potential and make something out of it, especially the super cape. But the only thing you can do that with in Mario 64 is the wing cap, right? And so that's the only power up people like that really like. I really enjoy in that game, because it's just not other things. Just like, oh, I just need you to open the switch here or get through here. I'm not like, oh my god, I got the invisible cap or something like that. Like if Nintendo can do both of those. Like sometimes Nintendo does, and it does a thing like that where like it definitely works. It functions, but it's not like, it's not something that like it just works, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing else to it, and because of that, it's just not as interesting as something like the wing cap, because it doesn't have any other specificity outside of, oh, I put the power up here, like the game design is supposed to be, and therefore the power up is used here, and therefore like the game design is complete, and that's it. But the reason why people go back to these certain platforms, the reason why these other platformers stand out, is because they're able to have these abilities that can be situational, but also allow for player expression. And I really do. I think that's the one thing I think Sonic needs the most. To me, that's what it needs the most, more than like momentum and stuff like that. It's just because you're back in SAT, you have the trick
Expression.
system, right? You can read. It's like DMC, like Sam said. Like you can beat those levels very stylishly.
You get the awesome, the amazing.
If you know what you're doing, right? Because it feels so. It's the control's so loose, the grounding so loose.
I want to bring in a bit of a tangent and just go back to SSX. So when the SSX game came out, they remade SSX. I remember there was a stage.
Oh, yes.
I think it was free on Xbox 360 back in like 2014 or 15. I remember this vividly. I'm not sure if you guys have played the SSX game, the remake.
I have. I love them.
Yeah. So there's a stage.
Tricky.
If you remember, so after Tricky, they made one back in like 2012, 13. Jay, you probably remember this. There's a stage where you need these snow goggles to see the stage.
Yeah, I remember that stage. Every mountain had a new gimmick.
I never used snow goggles. Not only did I never use snow goggles, I always got first place on that stage. The first time I ran through that stage, I was like, I need goggles for the stage. I said, damn. I don't know what happened, but I got lucky and ran through the whole stage. And after I ran through it one time, I knew my entire route. And I kind of memorized, I guess because I was so aware of what was going on, I kind of memorized the stage without the snow goggles. And I knew where the rails and stuff were. And so I was able to clear and get through that stage without snow goggles. And it's interesting you can do that because, again, in SSX, there are multiple different paths. There are shortcuts. There are things up top, things low, and even some of the things that, no pun intended, that derail you aren't actually shortcuts. They just take longer, but they look more stylish.
Yeah. That game has specific items in each mountain. They give you like the wingsuit. I know you're talking about. I would always try to like beat the level with the wingsuit because the wingsuit was the most fun power up. Because you just be flying right after like a big ass jump.
Yeah, no, it's fun, but it's just the idea though, like you don't have. I mean, some of them you do have to use them, but again, like I said before, in that instance specifically, I didn't even use the goggles. And if you know anything about that stage, you can't see anything. You genuinely cannot see anything. But I was able to get through the whole stage and get first place, not doing that. But that goes about the level design and stage design. It's not like it's a gimmick where you have to use it, you just fall off. It's like, hey, the stage is already made. You just go through it however you can. If you memorize it, cool. If not, it's not. But again, there's equipment to be used. You don't have to use it. You can still clear it. But it's to show the level of flexibility. Like you said, there's a wingsuit, there's goggles, there I think other upgrades for your boards and stuff. Again, when it comes to Sonic and Shadow Generations, like I said when we first started, I think it'd be really cool for them to try different things because the community will appreciate the fact that you're not taking their attention for granted. It's not that you will keep recycling the same thing over and over again. It's that you will try different things. And if it doesn't work, even if it doesn't work, you can learn something from the experience. You can keep going until you get that, until you get that formula. Because what if, give it like another 5 years, they found boosts. They found the Sonic Adventures 2 with all the items and all the boosts you get from the items. And then they have the boosts from Unleashed, and then they found a third thing, and they make a game where you play as any Sonic character like Sonic Adventures, and you get to choose what variation you want to play. And all the stages are built for all the variations.
And you call it Sonic Generations.
Sonic Ultimate.
Because it's every generation of Sonic. That's how generations have been.
Well, what I'm saying is all the stages are built for always to play. I mean, they already did it with Sonic Generations in the sense where you have modern Sonic and then you have classic Sonic. But you have to make 2D versus 3D. Yeah. Well, if they made like a 3D Sonic where you literally can play as any Sonic and each Sonic had their own positive and negatives. Like you have Unleashed Sonic where he has a boost. Well, if he has a boost, there are certain things that he clears that he misses. You play Adventure Sonic. Well, he doesn't go as fast as Boost Sonic and Unleashed Sonic, but with all the items you get more of the shortcuts, more of the rails, you get more adventure. And then they may have another where you have, again, like with Shadow, you have the different special moves, attacks, and abilities. Okay, cool. Well, you're not going to play as fast as Boost, and you're not going to go as, it's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not going to be as linear with the different items, stuff that you get from playing like as Adventure 2, but you get complete creative freedom in how you go through that stage because you have all these different abilities. You can wing glide, you can grind on certain walls that are probably anti-gravity or something like that. When you attack certain enemies, it gives you certain boosts. You have chaos control when you want it, and you have teleportation. So it's like, oh, okay, I played it the first time with boost because the boost is fun, but I'm trying this Shadow Generations abilities, and I can glide under the stage, and then I can go back up and I can just teleport and use chaos control for certain enemies so that way I can get more boost ability and stuff like that, right? It just
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they'll do all together, but just the idea of you found 3 or 4 formulas and now you put them all in one game. And then you allow people to choose how they want to go to the stage, and then you build the dynamic stages that work for each and every one of those. Obviously, there'll be some bugs and glitches because it'll be a little bit weird, but it's just the idea of giving people that freedom.
It's
And don't
better
do
to
like
take
Mortal
that than have
Kombat.
something.
Like Mortal Kombat, where it takes us away. Just like, hey, I picked Sonic. Okay, I'm playing Sonic. Cool. What Sonic you want to play? I want to play. Let's play. Let's play. Frontier Sonic. Okay, now you got all this stuff that you can do, and it works for the stage. Like no matter what variation Sonic you play, you can go through the stage with that variation. You albeit have to play it differently, but the option is there.
Yeah, that reminds me of that
Yeah.
Darkstalkers game that came out on the PSP. You could pick between like the 3 variations of the game for like the character. You go through it that way. I think I get what you're saying. I think that would be like the perfect like way for this game to play out.
That finally waits to stop all the infighting in the Sonic community. And finally, that would.
I don't think
After
they'll
all
never
this, like,
stop
their
it. They'll
30
never
years.
Stop, bro. I think it just never stops. But I think good examples of them using that, the games that can do that while still having like the kind of the Mario style, like something that like okay, I put this in front of you, do it. I think Ape Escape is like an example of like them being able to do that while still having like, okay, we put this in front of you, we gave you this, now use it for this. Because they let you go back to the stages and use it in like different creative ways with all these different gadgets, and there's different openings. They always have something new to explore. Like the magnet in Ape Escape 2, that's a crazy ass like gadget that you get where you get to hang off certain walls, and like they use that in such a crazy way. Even though it's not like a lot of freedom, like it's not you can magnetize any wall. The fact that they have so many options of what you can do, and it's not just like a one-time gimmick, like oh, I have a switch here and I use it and that's it. The fact that it's used for traversal, it still works, even though it's still like okay, we put this in front of you, we gave you a gadget, now use it, right? I think Sonic can get away with both. I think both you can get away with both because they're gonna have to do that because you don't want to give too much freedom. If it's too much freedom, then people are like, okay, why would I have to use this ability? I can just rush the stage regardless of it, right? You still gotta force some of it, but I do agree. Like I think that'd be the perfect. What Sam was talking about, that'd be the perfect blend of like of game design, and like it's not gonna make everybody happy because people complain. Everyone gonna complain about something, but
Yeah.
you can't worry about that. You gotta make something good, and move on. Some people don't like it.
Speaking of good.
Something great.
Yeah.
Speaking of good, what y'all think about the music though?
I can
Samuel,
talk about that, bro.
skills.
Look, son, look, all right. So I'm gonna tell you right now.
What do you think about the
I am a fan of the
remixes?
original tracks. These remixes are not it for me. I ain't gonna hold you. And just that the music is bad, I just don't like it. I don't dislike it, but I don't like it. Bro, I was listening to I think it was Korvac from Sonic 06. It was scored.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Listen to the remix.
Cool like this is unleashed.
Hey, this
Is unleashed. I think.
What am I listening to? Am I about to get hit with a electric wind godfist? Hey, Hachi's headbutt? Well, like, what we doing? No, I don't.
But-
It literally did make me think about when Tekken Tag came out and they had a bunch of that electronic music. I'm like, bro, I get they're trying to make it all hype and stuff. Good music is good music. Great music is great. Don't just put some techno stuff on there and make it all hype. No, just make good music, even if it was a completely different tune. Just completely. If it's good music, it's good music. I don't care. Give us the option to go back to classic music too. But just the remix itself, man, there's not a single remix. Matter of fact, when you listen to Radical Highway, there's a part of it that reminds me of, and I'm sure Jay heard me listen to it a little bit whenever you were away. It sounds like Crazy Motorcycle from Final Fantasy VII OG. Like I'm listening to it, it's like I'm like, is that? And I went and looked up the song. Like that sounds a lot like Crazy Motorcycle. Now I will say that the guitar in Radical Highway is still phenomenal. The thing is, I look originals, and maybe they gave us these 4 songs because they knew they were the worst ones. Let us pray that that's the case. My thing is the original music is just, and I know Sonic 06 had a particular vibe,
Yes.
so that's cool and all.
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle has some of the best music. Man, Sonic Adventure 2 Battles, the game is so good though. It's almost like what they say about Guilty Gear. It's so crazy they released this album. Oh, by the way, it came with a video game too. The music from Sonic Adventure 2 is
Nah, facts.
fantastic. It is. And it gave me so much diversity in my life.
That's
So much diversity.
and
Go ahead.
and that's why the mess.
Bro, any Guilty Gear game, it's
I like Strive most. The lyrics, I like the lyrical songs. I get what you're saying though.
yeah, but it's this idea that the music is so good. It's like, I mean, did I buy the game? Or did I buy an album? Either way, it comes with both. So, and Sonic Adventure 2 is like that. They have a pull for some of the best music in any game. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is always in the conversation because there's so much there for so many people. Again, they have rock music, they have the uppity stuff, they have industrial music, they have dark
And Unleashed is up there too.
Well, no.
Honestly,
Unleash is a lot
we
of
can talk
world
about
music.
Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Unleashed, bro. Look, son, before I even bought Unleashed, I was obviously listening to Windmills Isles Day immediately. But Cool Edge Night, one of the best pieces I've heard in gaming music. One of the best pieces I've
Bro.
ever heard in gaming music. From the
Empire
intro,
City
Bro,
stage,
all the night songs, bro.
the Empire City night and I don't like the Shamar night stage. I think it's the worst night stage, but the music that when that note hits,
Bro.
it's fire.
bro, I hear what y'all saying.
But
Cool Edge Night is the best song in that game, hands down.
but
No.
one of the
You
things
didn't hear me. I hear what y'all saying. Cool
Oh, yeah.
Edge Night is the best song in that game, hands down.
Yes, sir, Mr. Skills.
I'm gonna repeat myself.
Yes, sir.
Don't yes
I'm
sir
not arguing with you.
Don't yes
I'm
sir
not.
me.
I put my hands up. I put my hands up.
Cool Edge Night is the best song in that game.
You know Long Beach Griffey?
Is the best song in
Cool
the game.
Edge.
Endless Possibilities is up there, but it ain't better than Cool Edge Night.
But yeah, like the music's important.
The thing,
Man,
but
the Sonic Adventure 2 music, it got me into design because of how they design the character things and how it matched with the character. I don't think there really is a game that does that, like does what it did. Like not just they didn't just dedicate to a theme song for the character, but the levels, each of the levels are styled after the characters. If you really think about it, because Tails levels are more lighter versions
Yes.
of Eggman's more darker versions, more like subtle, more factory, more subdued. Tails versions are more like action hero, the action hero he wants to be. Sonic's levels are obviously more action based, lighthearted, bright. Even the themes are more brighter.
and Rouge's is all of Rouge's stages are so
all
luxurious. That's
All
what I
fine
get from
music.
Rouge's stages.
It's all spy.
Oh my god! But that's what kills me about these remixes, bro. Is that like the original, like when you think about, like, for example, we're talking about Radical Highway, right?
That OG
And
song
we're
is
talking
amazing.
about like
That OG that it goes into
Yeah,
that
the-
little bit of a break. Like,
I'm mad they don't have the water section.
I was like, bro, that is so dope. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
you said, the water
I'm gonna
section.
be so annoyed.
Water section of Radical Highway.
Which one?
You know when you
Oh,
when
are you
reach the
talking
point
about
of
when
the
they go in the
level
tunnel?
where you are running on water, like in with Sonic in that part. That part of the song. Shadow has that in his stage in the original game. It's in the second part of the stage. It plays like that's probably the best.
Oh, we on the boat.
It sound like the people. It sound like honestly, it sound like Sonic's take on Zelda music. Honestly, like it's much more like ancient sounding. You know, it's when he's running on the waterfall. You know,
I can't remember. I've only played PO6.
I mean, it's only act. It's only act
I've only
one.
played Kingdom Valley with Shadow like twice.
It's only act one
Okay.
that
It's
we know.
been a minute.
Now we're hopefully act two adds that like remix. That's the best part of the stage music.
But yeah, I feel like, to me, it's like the big issue with the remixes is like, you know, Radical Highway, that's the introduction of Shadow, like to his first stage. That's where we find out his actual motivation.
Bro, not even just that,
That's where
bro.
he
But think
declares
about playing that
his
Black
revenge.
Hedgehog and that music pops off, and then you hear like the airplanes
Yes,
and
bro.
stuff, and you just he reps
It's-
like railing on the side of the bridge.
And
That shit is lit. And then the
Yeah, like
robots
it's
come
just so,
up. You see the bombs. I'm like, bro, this shit is crazy.
it, and,
And the music,
and it's not just lit, bro.
that music started hitting for
It's
the moment. But what's really cool about it, I cut you off, bro. Forgive me. What's really cool about it is when the game starts off, it's quiet. It's quiet as a mouse, and no one even.
yeah, yeah. It starts out, and all you hear is the rail grind. That's the first thing you hear.
bro. Before you even
That little drum.
it's the rail grinding. I was like, bro, and then the
Bro.
music starts.
Cold.
That music hits immediately. It's not even a moment of break. That music starts, and everything is happening. You're like, hey, who is this?
And
Man?
it's and then last, and it's not, and just the fact that the cutscene before that, when he says revenge, they take all the music out of it. So it's like, I promise you, revenge. It's quiet, and all you just hear the helicopter stuff in the background. Then it hits the little load screen, and then it's just like, it just there's so much like emotion, like just Shadow's music in that game. It just, I talk about it in my in my video talking about Fumi Kumatani, and who she did a lot of music for Sonic Adventure 2, and she did like half of Shadow stages. Jun Sonoe, no, not, it's not, yeah, I think Jun Sonoe, I think he did Radical Highway, but it's like it characterizes Shadow so well because it just like channels all of, like, you can hear his rage, bro. Like, fool, like, this is some fool who just robbed the bank, just stole a Chaos Emerald, declared the world as his enemy, and you can hear he's tearing. And the game, the description for the level is like, what is it? Escape from the military pursuit, or no, it's like cut through the military, or like it's like break through the besieging military or something like that. Like, it channels all of that perfectly. So then you come in with a remix, and it's just like, technically it's the same song, or like you take some of the same instruments or guitars, but what are you trying to emote to me? Like, what emotion is coming? Listen to Radical Highway. You can just listen to Radical Highway by itself, and you don't have to have any context, and you can already get those kind of feelings. Like, you can get the kind of like darker emotions, that tone from it. But then when you listen to a remix, it just sounds like, I mean, it sounds kind of cool, I guess, like a dance remix, I guess, but where's the emotion? Like, all of these songs, they be stripping the emotion from them. Like Kingdom Valley, like, I'm at least a little happier with Kingdom Valley, and I don't think you heard the Bow Lizard theme, that remix.
I did. I thought it felt more traditional.
Yes.
I didn't really hate that one.
Right.
I didn't hate any of them.
So that one,
I think that one there, I was like, okay, this one he's seen this. Okay, I can watch.
Right. And I think with like Bow Lizard, so like there's a little like leaked dialogue from the fight where it's like Shadow, you know, in Sonic Adventure 2, when Shadow fights the Bow Lizard, that when he beats him, he says like, "Get out of here, you ugly prototype," or he says something like that. Like, Shadow low-key little petty in Sonic Adventure 2. Like, he always, I'm the coolest, and he be a little bit of a-hole. But in Shadow Generations, I saw the dialogue, and it says like, it's like, "You poor soul, now I put you to rest," or something like that. Like, to me, the Bow Lizard theme first was more dark, the more like chaotic feelings inside Shadow, like, is like bubbling below the surface, like, you know. And that's kind of, it was also when he finally became like turned to the good guy side, and so like it kind of like it sounded a little heroic in some ways as well. And then so the Bow Lizard theme, it doesn't have as many emotions as the first one. It's a little bit more lighter toned kind of, but I think that fits because Shadow's not that kind of person no more. He's not that like freaking volcano about to erupt. He's more, like I said, he's trying to put him to rest. Like, this is not, and especially if this is Time Eater, and like this is not necessarily real, it's not the real Bow Lizard, he knows it's like an illusion kinda. I can imagine it can be like the more lighthearted in that scenario. I think I like the Bow Lizard remix in that specific scenario. But
I mean, that's context though, right?
You know, Kingdom
That's
Valley,
music based off of context. It's one thing to hear the song stand alone, it's another thing to understand the context behind the music, right? It's like when you listen to Kingdom Hearts opening, and you hear it, it's like, okay, it's like electric dance music. But when you actually see the opening and you see what's happening, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then now you associate
the
intro with that, and then the iconic Kingdom Hearts 2 opening, especially after you've already played Kingdom Hearts. Some people have played Kingdom Hearts, was it Chain of Memories or Rechain of Memories? and then you know what happened, and you see the intro, and then you start off playing as Roxas. Well, in the beginning, the beginning of the game gave you a synopsis. Well, the intro gave you a synopsis of what happened in Kingdom Hearts 1, and then it gave you a synopsis, not really a full synopsis, but kind of like, okay, so happened in Kingdom Hearts, and the memories, and then the whole thing with Sora becoming Roxas. And then that one favorite part where he's holding hands with Kyrie and Riku, and then he falls under the sand and becomes Roxas, right? It's imagery. So it's one thing for you to just listen to an amazing song, because you can hear passion by Tadeu Karu and be like, oh, this is a great song. And you can even watch a music video. Now, if you watch Kingdom Hearts intro, you're like, this is dope. But if you play Kingdom Hearts 1, like I did, or even if you play Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, now you have that emotional attachment and you have the context behind it, and now it has that much more impact than me. So listen to Shadow's theme, or listen to this Biology theme particularly, and saying, okay, I understand where Shadow's been, I know where he is, I understand more of the concept of the story, I hear this theme, the story relates. It's like looking at an anime opening and there's a bunch of foreshadowing. It has that much more meaning impact. So again, there's a difference between listening to it raw and then having context behind. I mean, it's still theoretical, but it's still having context behind it, because you can appreciate the art form of let's make the music actually tell more of a story.
Because that's what the point of art is. All art is subjective, and it's supposed to tell the story. And so, just like, you know, I'm not my analysis or whatever. That's just my opinion. But just the fact that there's so much you can, you could write a book about the BioLizard thing, or you could write a book about, Radical Highway. And so I think that whenever you comes with remixing stuff like that, especially when there's like a story attached to it, I feel like the way they don't, and this is not exclusive to this game, I think this is just like Sonic in general. Like a lot of times they be remixing songs, they just be remixing, they just make it a freaking, like you said, like a dance music, or they just make it into a song. They try to just make it sound, like it's different, or they, whatever they feeling. Just like Sonic Colors Ultimate, like almost all of those remixes were just like, that it completely just changes the tone of the game. Like if you played Sonic Colors Ultimate and you played it, and you only played Sonic Colors Ultimate, you never heard the original songs, and you only played it with the remixes, you're gonna come away from the game differently. And like that's my issue. It's not just the fact that a lot of songs it doesn't really try to express anything to you. There's also the fact it just changes the connotation of the game. And so that's how I feel about the remixes. And surprisingly, the remix that everybody hated the most, the Chaos Island remix, people hated when that mug dropped like last week. People were clowning on that song so bad. And surprisingly, that's like, besides the BioLizard remix and Kingdom Valley, that one's just like a nothing burger to me. And of course, I didn't grow up with 06. I don't understand the story of 06 well enough to like make a lot of the connections that I do with Kingdom Valley and whatever. And also, of course, 3 people play on that stage, so it's like, it's not like a song specific to a specific character. But the Chaos Island theme, I felt some emotional pull from that song. Even though I feel like objectively, like I don't really like the song that much, but I can't hate on the song that much, just because that first 20 seconds really makes me feel something. It really does feel dark and tumultuous, like Shadow is. So I can at least give it that. But everything else, like, I'm not a fan of the remixes. And like you said, Sam, I do hope they put the freaking option to play the original music.
Yeah.
And J Blast, what's your opinion on the music?
I'm fine with it. Like, I kind of like the Radical Highway remix here more. I had to hear more of it. It's that all it really makes the remix of it is like how they do the part. You see what I'm talking about, that how they do that last part.
Like that main melody.
That's what matters
or whatever.
I think it's fine. Again, I just hope they get that water section in Kingdom Valley in the game, because that's my most. Cause that's like the best part of the track. That's the only reason I listen to that track. I'm gonna be real with you. Is that last?
Okay, now I gotta listen to it.
But it's fine. I mean, Chaos Island, like, I don't mean to be like rude. I won't say that the whole soundtrack for Frontiers is like, oh, it's only the boss themes like were the real good themes, because the cyberspace levels went hard, but the main like area you're in, I think going with ambiance type music wasn't the way, and
You talking about like the island
yeah,
music?
and like I mean, there's not like the
Chronos
workout
Island.
song. We
That's
get
the
a
only one I
high
liked.
action level from that. So I mean, that's why I was kind of surprised to even hear Chaos Island or like a remix of what. I don't even remember listening to this song.
Yeah, Chaos Island. I think that had the worst out of all the islands. I like Chronos. Like I listen to Chronos in my spare time, and just like the Starfall Island themes. That's one of the first songs that released from the Frontier soundtrack. I used to listen to that all the time. But Ares is just passable, and I don't really like Arenos very much. And Chaos, I don't, especially like the full Chaos. Once you like get to the end of the story, and it has like that horn coming in, like I don't like Chaos at all. But the character themes like Knuckles, Amy, and Tails, they had those themes were fire on Final Horizon. And Sonic's new theme, the Final Horizon has some good music.
Yeah.
And so for us, if we're gonna be wrapping up this Shadow Generations talk, how do y'all have any concerns or anything on your wish list for this game in these last few months before it
I
comes
hope
out?
they had Big the Cat.
I hope the game is fun. It's hell.
The only thing,
Big the Cat, we got a big the Cat
in all
request.
seriousness, I hope, like, I don't know what Iizuka meant by shorter. Like, what does he define by shorter? Because the fact that this has an open world, hub world, means that really it's going to be longer than Generations. Because it depends. Are you counting like the entirety of Generations, like with every mission, 100% completion? Like, what are you counting? Like, is it the level? He didn't necessarily say.
Well,
My hope is that maybe it's shorter in terms of collectibles, but the levels are still there, right? Like, there's still 9 levels they made, and so we only seen 6 of them so far. It's kind of funny because the Forces stage actually is designed like a Forces stage, whether that's good or bad. At least it's historically accurate. But I would like
here,
stages from, because they can still add stages from Sonic Unleashed. Maybe not colors from Shadow, but I mean, who cares? He didn't appear in Frontiers. He can get a stage that he didn't appear in.
And one thing I will say about the Iizuka, about like, I know we're not sure what he means. I don't, obviously I love this for Iizuka, like that's my goat. But if we're being real, like when it comes to their marketing, like if you expect anything from them, I feel like they're going to disappoint you, unfortunately. Because like, remember in Frontiers, they were like, oh, there's 5 islands. And we saw like, oh, we saw Chronos, oh, we saw Ares,
Yeah, it was bad.
Chaos, oh, they're saving the last 2 for us. But in reality, they did show us Arenos and freaking Rhea. We just didn't know it. And then, like, oh, we saw the 4. I feel like that's the most disrespectful mess they ever did. That's the biggest lie Sonic Team ever told.
So they had released like a track, right? Album for it. And in the album,
yeah,
it had like it was like 4 different discs or something like that, 4 different panels of the album, and each one represented a different island. There was the 4th one was blue, and it looked like snow. So everyone was saying like, "Oh, it's a snow island." And I'm thinking, "Oh, it's a snow island." People thought it was gonna be a snow island, and the last one would be space or city.
Yes.
And then we just got that, and I remember looking together. I was like, "Wait a minute," because people were leaking the game. I'm like, "Wait a minute, where's the last island?" And I saw it, and I was like, "Bro, why did they even do that?
Last island never came.
Why even? They knew."
Like I feel like a lot of it is Sega, but it like because no developer wants to do that mess, right? Like nobody wants to like basically lie about. It's just like with the cyberspace things. Like we saw, oh, there's Chemical Plant, oh, there's Green Hill, there's this new city, and then there's Sky Sanctuary. Okay, they're probably not trying to show the whole game off. Or, no, that's actually every single cyberspace whatever. Like if we go into it thinking like, oh yeah, I wonder how much of the game they're hiding, like, oh, I'm sure that the open zone gonna be way bigger than we think, or But no, I'm 100% positive when he says shorter, he genuinely means shorter. Like if it turns out that there's only like one more stage or two more stages, I would not be surprised at all because like I feel like you said there's three more.
Three because you got the Shadow of the Hedgehog. It's Radical Highway. Well, because you have right now you got Radical Highway. You got because it was listed as different stage. So you got those 6 stages.
Yeah.
The Arc technically counts as an SA2 in Shadow of the Hedgehog stage. I mean, it's the Arc. It's been the most. Yeah. We can just let that slide. But like, there is no Shadow of the Hedgehog stage technically.
Fun fact about the Arc stage, they use Sonic's music for that game. Like the remix they did, that's not freaking Shadow stage. That's freaking Final Chase, not Final Rush. No, it's Final Rush music.
Was the Arc, like the level called the Arc from Shadow of the Hedgehog. So,
right. I'm just saying, like, it's just so funny. Like this Shadow Generations, but they remix some Sonic stage music. You know, I guess that's just payback for Sonic being in Radical Highway in the DDS.
They can use like, but there's potential they can use an Unleashed stage. But I'm trying to see that again. It got to be a thing to go with Shadow. So they may just put the Unleashed stage at night. That'd be something interesting to see. I doubt it.
No, that would be awesome.
I doubt they would do that, but
that'd be ballsy.
It'd probably be Dragon Road. They did that with it, maybe because the Phoenix thing and the Dark Gaia thing. That's what I think would happen. A crazy pick for it would be Eggman Land though. If it was Eggman Land from it, that would be crazy.
Oh yeah, crazy on its own.
Yeah,
that'd be goated.
And then I think there's gonna be a Lost World. There can be a Lost World stage, which I would assume. There is that
like
game
that lava level.
That'd be lame. You know, that level sucked.
But the music,
dang,
that music sucked for that stage too. That man, like that wannabe Mario music, Bowser theme.
I didn't say it. He said
it. Yo, you threw me under the bus. Yo, Skills threw me under the bus. Talking about he said it. He said I didn't say it. He said it. As soon as you started dogging on us, I said,
I guess
that's okay. My heart sank too.
The Skills stage, I guess. But then they can add, and of course, I am at least firm dead on like that Black Comet is gonna be the last stage. There's just no way it's not in the game. There's no way.
Yeah, that'd be.
And that's from like Shadow of the Hedgehog. That would be the Shadow of the Hedgehog defining stage. So there's just no way. There's no way it's not in the game. I would bet money on it right now. Not right now though, but I mean I would bet money on it.
Skills, you got any? First off, do you think you're gonna get the game, or are you gonna get it on sale, and then do you have any concerns or any wish list?
I'll probably get it on sale. The reason being is because there are too many games coming out at the end of this year already. It's not even about the money at this point. Yeah. It's about the time, and I don't have time to play other games. That's a shorter game, but.
Dang, he said it's not about the money. Okay, Mr. Moneybags. He said he got money.
I got. When you a single man, money goes to you and only you.
Oh yeah, you're freaking on top of the world.
Stop it. No, but in general, I wanted to be I love the idea of innovation because I just want to see things change. Again, I'm not sure what all went into it, but the boost system from Unleashed for me was, something I thought was just legendary. I already enjoyed Sonic as it is, and then when I saw the boost and I heard how it affected the music, saw the effects that came with it, and then the way it allowed him to, they let you drift in Sonic Unleashed. I wasn't ready for that. Oh, this man is drifting.
Yeah,
drift jumping and drift hopping and stuff, and then go from left to right, left trigger, right trigger. I was like, yo, this is dope, right? So experimentation with mechanics, and you're going to end up with a lot of L's, but all you need is a couple W's, and that's what you get. People remember you for your bad games, cool, fine, whatever, but they really start talking about the really good ones, right? As much as we talk about, again, Sonic Frontiers or Sonic and Secret Rings and Sonic and Black Knights, which isn't much often, we talk about Sonic Adventure 2 Battle like it's the best thing since
cold air during the August time in Houston, Texas is something we need. And then
Yep.
Sonic Adventures 1 preceding that. Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Michael Jackson trying to compose the music for the Sonic games. Or what else? Sonic Riders. Sonic Riders, the second one, Zero Gravity, was shit, that was fun to me.
Oh yeah.
But just little innovations.
I love both of them.
Yeah,
Just innovations.
Oh, we're gonna say on Zero Gravity the gameplay. So I got some words for that one. I like it though.
Oh, okay. He said I like it though. He said it's gonna be negative, but I like it though.
Oh, it's gonna be a little bit negative. Not. It's just that I feel like they dumbed down the game because people were like, well, it can't be explained in 5 seconds with Mario Kart, and because of that, it kind of hurt the gameplay from the first game. But at the same time, like the gravity mechanics are cool. I just think they like turned down the speed and like made it much simpler. Like I feel like that was a step back. But and then people still didn't know how to play the game in 5 seconds. So like people just really badly. Then like there's depth to it. People don't.
I got a script for a writer's video. It's gonna be I have a YouTube script on my phone for a writer's video. How to make Sonic Riders 4.
I gotta get to Sonic Adventure and on the rest of the games. So I get the Sonic Riders. And I'm a bit.
If y'all let me, if Azuka met me, bro, he let me make freaking Sonic Riders 4. Y'all would see freaking peak, bro. My fist mess about to be live.
Let me make Sonic Adventure 3. I'd save the whole fan base. No one be arguing.
With all these remakes,
Nah, they'd be arguing with me.
Modern Times making remakes and stuff. They're really, it's like break the glass button or hit the glass, right? Sonic Adventures 2 for the remakes, right? I mean, but I would honestly prefer them if they're gonna remake to start from the first Sonic, to see how it goes. I don't know how you want to go about it because people like 2D, but maybe just try a different perspective. But that might be the best time. Where
I think.
What if you were to remake all the Sonic games, but allow all the new age innovations to go through? Hey, let's remake Generations. Let's remake the 2D part, but let's also do 3D. Let's do Adventures 3D. Let's do Unleashed 3D. Let's do whatever the new things 3D is, and let people just run through all those classic stages in the more modern ways.
Well, I hope this is the last time we get classic stages because we've every game.
That's what I'm about to say.
Since Generations. That's another thing on Generations.
If people see classic Sonic and Green Hill one more time, people will have an aneurysm.
Bro, but not just Green Hill. All
think of Green Hill.
It's like remake the whole game.
Imagine being a kid, like being a kid me back in like middle school, thinking, okay, I'm ready for the future of Sonic, ready. Because I always like the levels. No one talks about levels like a lot, but the levels are so important because they're like exploring those levels. And I'm thinking, I can't wait for the next Sonic game. Next Sonic game comes out, it's like a Green Hill aesthetic in the first level, whatever, right? Then the next one comes out. Okay, that's Sonic Boom. We don't ignore that one. But the next one comes out, we're back to Green Hill again. There's not been a game that's had an original level or a fully original level since Sonic, like fully original aesthetics and levels since Sonic Generations. 2011, we're past a decade. We've been on the same type of levels. Like Sonic Rush had unique levels.
Well, Lost World?
I said aesthetics too. So that's still Green Hill in the sky.
Nah.
Green Hill in the sky?
Nah.
You said Green Hill in the sky?
No, you know why I give... No. To me, the most important thing with why I don't like the Green Hill reuse is the music, right? And that means in every game you're gonna get the same music over and over. You're gonna get a Green Hill remix or variation or rendition, whatever. But at least I'll take Windy Hill because you're gonna give me new music. That's the biggest thing. As long as you give me new music, I don't care if you give me Neo Green Hill or if you give me Emerald Hill. Emerald Hill is a freaking bop. The song, I'm cool with it looking the damn near the same. As long as you give me new music, that's the real issue with the reuse.
Windy Hill looks like
the new look
looks like Green Hill in the sky, like literally.
Yeah, but music.
It looks the same. It used to be different. Like when they move past it.
No. I agree. I wish they would have did more. I wish they would have just left the checkerboard stuff. I hate the checkerboard. I'm not gonna lie. The little checkerboard ground. I don't like that in 3D.
I will say everything with Shadow. I wish they would break their rule like one level per series, per game. because I think a hang castle level with
Oh
Shadow
yeah,
would have been crazy. Because I
Yeah.
remember one of the level
it needs to do
scared me
2
as a
per
kid
game.
because the ghost and like the music was creepy when you went upside down too. But then in the Mystic Mansion, there's a section at the end of the level I couldn't beat for a while, and it had like this black. I don't know what it was. We like this black stuff, and like look in the underworld, and you would go to these team things, and change the color of it, like to match like the team person you were using, like a blue landscape. It looked really weird. I imagine like I want to see that in HD, and like you having to traverse that with Shadow with the music of Hang Castle.
That'd be fire.
You know what I'm talking about? It's that I don't know what that is, like that black stuff.
I hate Hang
And then when
Castle.
you got out of it, you were like in a whole different like kingdom. But you don't even go to that kingdom after that fight.
Yeah.
After that level, because you go back to the haunted area.
Yeah, I love that new
And
section.
I love how it told a story. Like all those levels in Heroes told a story.
Yeah. But yeah, when it comes with my concerns, my only concerns are just like I'm happy with the level design changes. I still don't like I wish we can just move away from like the little rule of 3 that they have. Like, they always have to have the 3 rails, or sometimes they will have like a straight path and then the quick step sections, and like I hate, like obviously that's stuff that be in Unleashed, right? But that's because you going so fast, like you're just trying to freaking stay alive. But like in this game, it's not even staying alive. It's just like it's just so telegraphed, and you're going. So, at least the field of view makes it seem like you're going so much slower. So like I don't like how you can homing attack in rails in this game. Like, I mean, I guess it's like Generations, but so I see why they brought it back for this game. I hope they don't do that in Frontiers 2. I just don't like automation and stuff in general, but I think I'm still gonna enjoy this game a lot. Like I said, if I could find enjoyment in cyberspace, then I'm obviously this is 10 times better than cyberspace, and I'm gonna enjoy this game. And I don't really got a wish list really. I just hope, like at J Blast, like you said, I low-key wish they would double up on some stages, because there's too many good games that we're missing out on. Because yeah, like you said, like Arc and Radical Highway, that's low-key both from SA2. Like, I hope that when they do like Bullet Train for Heroes, I hope it's not just like the other half of Bullet Train. I wish that they would do like how that first level is a mashup of the Arc and the Radical Highway. I wish that they would like continue that trend, and like not just Kingdom Valley, and then transition into aquatic.
It would transition
Aquatic.
Desert. That would be the next.
Yeah, or something like that. That would be cold. That would be cold.
Castle.
So like
it's
I
still important in the Shadow, because again, it's where we talk about more clone stuff. So again, I'm just thinking like of levels that you cool with Shadow to see, because you gotta remember, like, that was a big thing in some of the haunted stages, because SA2 had a bunch of them. Shadow went through one of them. Knuckles had a bunch of them, and he fought the boss. Those levels used to scare me, because those would pop out of nowhere. Used to get on my nerves. And then I remember when I found that the giant ghost, I was like, I'm gonna kill you, and I was filled with rage, and I killed him. I wasn't even scared, and it went away.
That's my goat, bro. But that's why, that's what would be so awesome. That because I think the real thing when it comes to like how long the game is gonna be, I feel like what gave Sonic Generations a lot of like runtime was all those extra acts. Like there's like 6 extra acts for each stage. So like imagine if you're gonna have like a stage that has 2 different themes in one, you can reuse the assets from each of those and make additional acts. Like, so if you do the Dusty Desert and the Kingdom Valley, then okay, you can reuse the act and then make a little Kingdom Valley stage and make a little Dusty Desert stage. But my real wish list, the true wish list, is I have to bring my GOAT. I don't care how y'all want to get on me for how I pronounce this, but I played Sonic Battle as a kid. There wasn't no voice acting, so I like I said, I never finished Sonic X. So that boy Emerald, I think people say it's called Emerald, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to sound like Emerald.
Gimbal.
Yeah, I mean, I was a dumb kid. I saw that. I said Emerald. But my boy Emerald, bro, I hope.
Whooped his his ass and had to kill him.
Yeah, I didn't get that far in the show, but freaking, it was so hard to watch it because I would be trying to watch that Mega Saturday morning, but I would just see the same episodes. Either that or I would sleep through it, or somebody else was watching the TV.
Man, I used to get so mad.
I used to get hot, bro, trying to watch Sonic X. Like, y'all chill out. Like, I'm trying to watch. I only comes on once a week. Let me watch my show.
I used to get so mad because
I'd be a little boy mad.
I would either miss it or I'd be like, oh, I gotta do this Saturday. And I'm like, bro, I want to watch this. I miss an episode.
Like, please.
That's one thing. Everyone gets on streaming, but like, at least I can watch something when I want to watch it. Right? I don't have to sit here and wait.
Yeah.
Because you used to have to wait till like, until Saturday morning, and they only come for an hour, and
in just one episode, like Cartoon Network, which
they would loop it. So if you miss an episode, you have to wait till they loop all 75 episodes back over to see what happened.
And like, but I think that also kind of like gives value to it too, right? Like I used to think about Sonic X all week because I knew I had one chance to freaking watch that mess. Like, part of me wonders if I would ever appreciate it or like loved it. I mean, like I said, but because of that, I couldn't watch the damn show. So that's why I still don't even know. I vaguely know that term. Like I remember seeing him, but but anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, Emerald was in that freaking movie, bro. I don't know if you know. I almost called you Shadow. I don't know if you know Skills, but but Emerald, there's a game on Game Boy called Sonic Battle, and it's like a little fighting game for Game Boy, and that game was actually like mad fire, and it has one of the best Sonic stories, like straight up. Like it's like a little, when they have the 2D artwork and it's like them talking to each other with a little text box, and that has a pretty like long story. The game takes a long time to beat, honestly. Had like 7 different campaigns, and like some stuff was genuinely hard. And Emerald is the main character, and he like you can like teach him different moves, and he like gets all your data. But he's the freaking Gizoid or whatever he's called. I'm sure y'all are gonna tell me it's the Gizoid or whatever.
It's the Gizoid.
But I love Emerald.
It's the Gizoid.
Yeah. So the idea of
got retcon, so that we don't know the full lore, but we know at least they were a weapon used against the Echidnas by a rival Echidnas by some other race. And they're just strong because there's a bunch of them you fight in Sonic Chronicles, but obviously they're not like strong. They're not as strong as Emerald because they didn't have a chance to absorb all the information yet. You just beat them.
Yeah.
But they just have the ability. It's kind of like it honestly reminds me of Amazo from Justice League. They couldn't even beat him.
I vaguely know who he is.
So it's like this robot that Lex Luthor made that adapt to all the superhero powers. They couldn't even beat him at all. Like they had to like either talk him down or
like Doomsday in the movie.
I mean, no, it was worse. He was more powerful because Doomsday is just mindless, like evil. Like Amazo.
Yeah.
Amazo was like
he was smart.
He was smart. He was intelligent, sentient robot. And there was he left the planet. He got to leave the planet to discover like the universe, and then he came back. He like absorbed some shit of the sun and like destroyed the whole Green Lantern planet, or like he destroyed the whole Green Lantern planet.
Damn.
And then he like was looking for Lex Luthor because he wanted to kill Lex Luthor because he had no purpose, and they had to give him like nobody could stop him. Like Superman couldn't stop. Nobody could stop him, and like Lex Luthor had to like talk him down. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That wasn't the comic. That was
Give me Amazo.
Justice League Unlimited, which has some really fire stories.
But yeah, give me my freaking boy Amazo or Gizoid, or whatever you want to call him. And that's what's really gonna make. That's my wish list. Just give me the Gizoid.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in.
Yeah.
I hope it's not just the original. I hope it's Gimel. It's the same.
Oh, that's Sonic Advance 3, right?
Well, it's the same.
I didn't play
Emerald
Advance 3.
It's the same as Emerald. Like it's the same robot, except they got Eggman like took it apart, upgraded, and then Gimel became like
maybe
he absorbed the power of the Master, and he became like a strongest robot. And Sonic and Eggman had to team up. For some reason, that's the only game where Sonic can do a Kamehameha with Eggman, but he can do it.
Wow. Yeah, that I think it's just because I didn't play the game, but I hate that Gemerald design. I love the OG, the brown. I love that. I don't like that black.
So that
But yeah,
he
I'm just
became
biased.
like he got reprogrammed and became like Cream's friend, helps around the house. That's why he did Cream.
So yeah, any final thoughts, anyone? The way you said he just helps around the house, just a freaking god of destruction. That's like freaking Orochimaru and Naruto just being a freaking researcher.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Orochimaru
Just chilling.
researching. Like that's Orochi. He got into the mess because he was researching in the first place.
Yeah.
But that's not a good thing.
Man, well, I appreciate y'all bastards being on the video with me. This is my first time ever doing something like this, and I had to consult the freaking oracles. I had to talk to the freaking my experts, my Sonic experts, and like I wanted the J Blast, that the Sonic expert, and then I know that Skills hasn't necessarily been in like the Sonic, the more current as much, so I wanted that different perspective on how he would feel about the game versus someone who's like keeping up with everything. And so I really appreciate the commentary and everything that y'all were able to bring, and this is a lot of fun, and I really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate bringing us on.
Dang, boy. Hey Sam, you can stop. I mean, Skills, you can stop crying, bro. I can hear your tears falling.
You guys are sweethearts.
It's okay, bro. Bring that tear back in.
What are you doing? That's always hilarious. Nah, but this stuff's been dope. Like I said, I'm not as big of a Sonic fan as you two are, obviously, but I've dabbled in a lot of the games. I have a large history of Sonic. Not as large as you guys, but it's been a very keen part of my life since I was playing Sega as a single digit baby, basically. And I was ass. I had a cousin that had the cheat codes for Sonic 1, and you can go to any level you wanted to. So it's cool all these years later going back and seeing what Sonic has become, seeing how people are fans of it and how it's evolved. And, you know, one thing that I always look forward to is even if the game isn't that good, usually the music is. So if nothing else, I'm hoping that I can get a good, if not great, soundtrack out of this. But this has been fun, y'all. Talking to my boys after so long, us having this kind of discussion, man. I enjoyed this, and I really appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, and I appreciate y'all's time.
Y'all
some grown men coming off work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate y'all for real. But thank you to everyone who's tuned in this far. Let me know if you have any feedback. Comment down your feelings about Shadow Generations as well. I'll be reading the comments, and make sure you definitely follow and subscribe to J Blast Network and to Skills channel as well. They have some really good quality content, full Skills with the crazy editing, and then J Blast. Obviously, we got the freaking encyclopedia with us. So just imagine this wealth of knowledge breaking down these games, these retrospectives. The fool is a beast. So make sure you subscribe to these fools. Be blessed, and we're gonna see you when we see you.
Absolutely. It's been an honor.
Peace.